Shadows carve the streets where ghosts remain. Ruins buried deep, erased from every frame. Stone pillars swallowed by sand and time. Cities lost in cold, white clean at their prime. Laser grids unseen, hidden under ice. Secrets in the circuits, paid a hidden price. They wiped the timelines, erased our memory. Advanced designs buried in forbidden history. Monoliths of power leapt off the maps. Underground sparks ignite when I lift the raps. Shadows where the truth decays. Decode the signs they bury in the haze. Underneath the veil we claim our legacy. Wake up from the dream, break the matrix energy. Sip the brew to break the mind's camouflage. Ayahuasca visions flip the program at large. I see ancient temples on another plane. Pyramids align with lasers in my brain. Minds reconnect, dimensions intertwine. Plant codes unlock the doors inside the divine. Reality bends when the rhythm guides the soul. With fragments of the past seeking to be whole. Shadows where the truth decays. Decode the signs they bury in the haze. Underneath the veil we claim our legacy. Wake up from the dream, break the matrix energy. Mind expanding visions calling through the dark. Neon glyphs and laser marks. Lost civilizations singing in the stars. Plant medicine healing all our scars. Peel back the layers, see what's underneath. Question everything. Oi, Nomas.
Welcome to Nomas Podcast Live, where we will react to videos, talk about current trending events, and possibly one or two conspiracies. So let's sit back, relax, and let's chat.
Nomas!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Nomas Podcast Live. We're freaking live. I was really thinking about it right now. I almost want to say this is going to be the first live of the year. I might have done another one if you guys can correct me if I'm wrong or right, but it feels like I haven't done a live stream in forever. I think it's been like over a month, I believe. But as you guys saw in the title, I feel like mentally I've been like all over the place, just trying to deal with me being a father, me going to work, dealing with, like being the best partner for my family, right? My relationship, right? And I feel like it got to me, and I'll go deep, a little bit deeper into that conversation of why the title of today's live stream. But if you are watching this currently live right now, or if you're watching the replay of this live stream, I just want to say I do have a hotline. If you ever want to call in, drop a message, leave us a voicemail, whatever. This is the number to go ahead and do so. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do live streams every Sunday, usually at 8 o'clock or 8:30. Like today, I was running a little bit late. And Wednesdays, 6 p.m., that's when I do the weekly podcast. So don't forget about that. Wednesdays, podcast, 6 p.m., live streams Sundays around 8:30, something like that, right? I try to keep it super consistent, but Now diving into why I said no more podcasts, right? This past, I want to say 2 weeks, I've been really, really debating whether if I should just drop the podcast within itself. And just focus on doing live streams, right? I got to the point that I didn't really want to do interview type of style podcast just to do so. So I started reaching out, and a lot of people like that would reach out. I wasn't really truly interested in their conversation. And I feel like since I kind of like said no to a couple people, well, not no, but I just said, yeah, let's plan it for a later time, right? I feel like it kind of started derailing into me getting away from that type of content. But aside from that, it's just like one of my favorite topics that honestly, I think a few of you guys, if you guys didn't know, I really like talking about like ayahuasca and stuff because the stories are freaking amazing. And I just personally haven't had anybody that has gone and done a ceremony lately, so I'm not gonna force it either. And honestly, when it comes down to the podcast, it came down to only me and Cello doing episodes. But I truly understand that Cello she's not the one that created, she's not the one with the idea of doing the podcast. It's me, it's my project. Obviously, I always, bring her along, and anybody that's helping me out with the podcast as being a guest, I give them full credit. But the point that I'm trying to say is that it's not for her to be consistent like myself, right? It's my goal, it's my dream. So I'm the one that's supposed to be driving this project, which I am, right? Ultimately, I've been doing it, and I want to say 3 to 4 years almost, and I've been pretty consistent, and that's something that I've always held myself accountable to be like super consistent, going. But now that I have a daughter, it became a little bit more difficult, and if I don't have a consistent guest, it makes it obviously more difficult. Now, shout out to Bede. She did come last week, and she is telling me that she is willing to come every other week, I believe. So if she does, then there'll be more consistent podcast. But aside from that, unless we don't have a podcast scheduled for Wednesdays, then I am going to be sticking to the live streams on Sundays. I don't want to like stop from doing the podcast, but also I'm not going to be stressing over it either. It's just something that the way that I like to look at my podcast is, I'm looking at this in the long run. I'm looking at this as far as, I'm enjoying doing the content. I'm enjoying getting to meet new people. I'm enjoying to, learn everything that I'm doing, like the behind the scenes, how to go live stream. This past year, in a couple of months, I figured out how to do a live stream, how to create different scenes, how to have 2 camera angles for my live stream. I don't think I've seen many people that have a podcast or a live stream that automatically their camera is switching back and forth on stream, and I'm able to do that right now. And honestly, I'm very, very proud to the level that I've been able to get my streams to. So if in case I don't have a podcast scheduled for Wednesdays, I am going to be doing a live stream on Sundays. Sorry, Teddy's trying to get out. It's freaking cold, by the way, too, right now. So, but long story short, yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I put that title. And then another reason too is that with keeping up with the reels and TikToks, all of that, it's me going through my content, cutting up, clipping, and arranging there's times when, let's say, for a 5-minute conversation, out of that 5-minute conversation, only 2-3 minutes are clippable, right? Or even less, right? And when I try to send that to the editor, the person that helps me like put the overlays and the captions on it, it was very difficult for him to know when to start, know when to end the reel, the clip, and what sections of that reel in TikTok to clip out, the less important stuff, right? So it was a little bit frustrating. I tried to like tell him like, hey, here to here, and then just eliminate all that extra stuff, right? And he was just not able to do so. So I decided to like, hey, you know what? I took on that work all over again for myself. So I'm doing it again. So it was more constant work for me once again. And then for YouTube, I was only doing, well, obviously the live streams, and then the YouTube, the podcast, the full podcast on Wednesdays. But then out of the full podcast and the live streams, there's a lot of conversation. So let's say we have an hour-long podcast. There's a lot of gold within that podcast that I wasn't clipping out, and I wasn't like making its own little 8-minute video for like what they call a YouTube clip. And I'm like, man, I'm leaving so much gold behind because I'm not taking the time to go ahead and clip those sections and make a thumbnail for. Sorry, I got another screen on my thing, and I'm not taking full advantage of the content. So something crazy once again. I know I've been preaching about AI, how bad it's going to be in the long run, and which I strongly believe it is going to be bad in the future. But as of right now, I'm using it as a tool, and it's been freaking a lifesaver. Like, it's something that I'll show you guys right now exactly what I mean about using ChatGPT is that as soon as I'm done with the podcast, let's say for instance this live stream, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the whole transcript of this live stream, and I'm gonna send it to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna tell it to give me a description, to give me YouTube shorts, to give me the best selections of my live stream to do TikTok, YouTube clips, and it literally gives me all my show notes. And I'll show you guys right now what I'm talking about in case you are one of those content creators. I highly recommend you guys do something like this. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about, and literally it will give you everything that you need to be consistent with doing content, clipping out. It'll give you suggestions. Let me see, show notes. Where's my show notes? And let's go ahead and screen share. So right here. So the last podcast that I did with Betty, it literally gave me the YouTube title. It said for me to pick one or tweak it. It gave me like the title, 3 different options. Also, this is the copy and paste description that I could use like ready for my podcast episode. And then also from there, I told ChatGPT to give me all the YouTube different chapters and timestamps, so I can just copy and paste into my videos. So everything, and aside from the timestamp, it will give me like a little brief title for that chapter, right? The fear of talking to camera and why the podcast exists, so on and so forth. And then like all the different topics we touched on. And then lastly here, it gives me the YouTube clip ideas it gives me the title. This is freaking insane, which I love it, right? It gives me a somewhat viral topic or viral title to give it, and then it'll give me the timestamps and a brief description on what we talked about, right? So yeah, it gave me, for this episode, it gave me about like 10 freaking YouTube chapters that I could have clipped into its own little video. And I'll show you guys what I mean about that. And then aside from those YouTube clips, also gave me shorts and TikTok's ideas that I could clip. I used some of these to be quite frank. I didn't post every single one just because I can't really keep up with that much. But it gave me a lot that I could choose from. And what that looks like is this. I'll go to my channel right now and then show you guys what I'm talking about. So here, we'll obviously have my full podcast. So here, my full podcast, and then the Nomas clips, which is like 10, like this one was 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes. This was 8 minutes. And then as you can see, check it out. So from one episode, I was able to get 1, 2, 3. This was from a different episode. 1, 2, 3, 4 different clips out of one. I could have done more, but I just ran out of time. And look, I totally understand right now my views for YouTube is very, very low. And that's why I was feeling also this way that, man, maybe I should just let this go of the whole YouTube thing of the podcast, right? Not necessarily let it go, but just take a break from it. But now that I started using ChatGPT with this like additional help, and I'm able to handle this additional work, I feel so much better over this. And And as you can see, like, let's say if the full podcast, this one in specific, did 75 views, but then I did its own YouTube clip, and then this one did 195 views. So it's been super, super helpful for me now. So now if you think about it, this one only had 75 views, but now as a YouTube channel itself, 195 views, 13 views, 13 views, 5, right? And then plus the 75 views. So everything adds up, right? So what I'm trying to say ultimately is I want to be able to take advantage more of all the content that I'm putting out. When it comes down to TikTok and Instagram, that's exactly where like a lot of my videos do take off, like in the thousands, like 20,000, 14,000. I mean, in the past I've gotten videos with millions of views. So that's, I feel like I have it figured out, quote unquote, right? In a sense that I have it figured out in social media, right? But where I was lacking on giving emphasis to is the YouTube channel, the podcast itself. So that's where for 2026, I'm really going to take the time to start tackling more of the YouTube long format from the full podcast and the YouTube clips. So yeah, with that being said, yeah, I was feeling very devastated. And then also for when it comes down to TikTok and Instagram, I'm getting paid like literally like pennies, right? I'm getting hardly anything for all those videos. So instead of me, obviously I'm still going to be doing that because I feel like I already have that in control. But now where I want to start emphasizing more is on YouTube. And then I've seen other creators too that they're talking about TikTok is not paying as much, and then it's censoring a lot of the content. And that same type of content that you see on TikTok that's being censored, it can fully go into YouTube and Instagram with no problem at all. So it's just crazy how everything changed from when the original TikTok was in place. And then how different it is now that the US took over pretty much. I don't know if you guys recall, but it was, I think there was a day or two that TikTok was pretty much dead. Like nobody had like access to TikTok. And then after that, everything changed. Everybody started noticing the differences from the before and after. So yeah, that's all I have in regards to my current podcast and content creating aspect. I am still going to continue doing the podcast. I'm not going to force it, but live streams, I do plan on doing more content for sure. So if it's not a podcast that I do, I am going to be doing a live stream. So for sure going to continue with doing that. And just briefly, I don't know if any of you guys, so changing gears, this weekend, man, I'm a huge UFC fan. And this weekend, I was so freaking excited for this weekend because this was the first weekend the UFC was no longer having pay-per-view events. So it transitioned into numbered events with Paramount Plus. So now if you have Paramount Plus, I think you pay like $13 a month and you get access to all the different UFC, what they used to be considered pay-per-view events. Now you get them for that $13 a month. And now with that, I'm able to have it like on my TV, on my phone. So if I was on the go, like I was pretty much watching it all over the place. So freaking excited about that. And all the different fights that were taking place were amazing in my point of view. Like, and so much craziness. I know there was a fight that got canceled because I think there was some betting allegations. So they pulled that fight from the stream itself. And yeah, so that one stopped. And then there was another fight that got that didn't actually happen because there was a guy that after the weigh-ins, I think he completely freaking I think he just fainted. Let me see if I can pull up the video. Let me see. I forgot his name. I think he was one of the guys that was going to be fighting in the prelims. But yeah, he completely fainted before actually stepping on stage. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, I can't pull it. But yeah, long story short, that video itself. And then well, that incident itself, and then other freaking cards that went off. The Patty Pimblett against Justin, man, that one was a war within itself. But yeah, that was pretty much my weekend and my current status for the content creation. Now, something completely changing gears is something that just caught my attention. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this. Cuéstate, Teddy. Sorry, I have Teddy. Cuéstate. Córrele. I don't know why he wants to lay in this one. ¿Por qué no te cuestas allá? Cuéstate allá. Acuéstate allá. Allá. I don't know why he wants to lay down over here. Hold on. Aquí, acuéstate aquí. Aquí. Acuéstate ahí. Dude, he never does that. He never wants to lay down on the chair that I have here, but for some reason he wanted to switch to this one. I don't know. That's weird. But anyways, sorry about that. But yeah, just recently, I wasn't really going to talk about this this topic in specific, but there was one part in that caught my attention, and I'll share with you guys what I'm talking about right now. So in a shocking incident on January 20th, 2026, social media influencer Nicole La Nicolette Molina, better known as La Nicolette, was reportedly kidnapped in broad daylight in Culiacán, Sinaloa, Mexico. There was a video of her distinctively purple Lilac Tesla Cybertruck. So she had this Cybertruck that it was very, very like, as soon as you saw the Cybertruck, you knew it was her because of the color. So it showed two men or showed armed men forcing her out of the vehicle and into another car before speeding away. Her Cybertruck was later found abandoned and seized by authorities as evidence. Mexican officials have activated a missing person alert and are investigating her disappearance, with her speculation, though no confirmed motive yet, about blank involvement given the region's organized crime activity. As of now, she remains missing and the search is ongoing, right? So I wasn't really going to talk about this because this happens all the freaking time, but once again, this one in particular went viral. One, because she has a large following, and two, she's not only, I guess, a so-called influencer, but she is actually a U.S. citizen, and she resides, I believe, in Phoenix, Arizona. So I think that's another reason why this case went super viral, that she got taken away in Sinaloa, but she's a U.S. citizen. So I think right now with the ongoing things with the U.S. and Mexico, that supposedly the U.S. is like slowly like getting more and more into Mexico. I don't think the people that are like doing bad things out in Mexico, I don't think they want to get the U.S. like more and more involvement over there, right? So I wasn't going to be talking about it, but then it just caught my attention on the last current update of this case. Let me show you guys the video where she gets taken.
Esto que van a ver en su pantalla es el momento en el que presuntamente secuestraron a la creadora de contenido Nicole, de 25 años, mejor conocida en redes sociales como Nicolette. Viajaba en un auto de lujo cuando fue interceptada por 3 sujetos. Esto ocurrió afuera de una boutique, propiedad de la víctima en el fraccionamiento Isla Musalá en Culiacán, Sinaloa. Hasta ahora no hay reporte oficial de su desaparición. So
when I first saw this video, I thought it looked kind of staged, right? And there was a lot of people in the comment sections. Not sure if this video in specific is going to be saying the same thing in the comments, right? But in other videos, let me pull up the comments. But everybody seemed that they didn't believe this was actually a kidnapping, and they thought it was staged. So right here, that one says, "Se ve muy relax like Nicolette, pero con la de la muchacha, let me see. So tuvo 3 días hábiles para meterse al carro y irse. So everybody's saying, like, this comment in specific is saying that, oh, she had all the freaking time in the world to like get in her car and just leave. Ni La Rosa de Guadalupe tiene esa producción. So yeah, I think this is the video that I was watching earlier that everybody was saying that, oh man, this looks so staged that she could have easily taken off. And then the guys that took her, they look super young, right? So I initially thought it was staged. I was like, what? That looks fake for some reason. Whether it is or not, as of right now, there hasn't been any proof that it wasn't staged. But that was my first initial thoughts watching this video. And then something crazy that, first of all, I didn't know who this person was. And then second of all, I guess, you know, in your algorithm, do you save these lives? Yeah, I do save these lives. Let me pull up your comment. This is something cool that eventually if you do come in for a live video, I can pull up comments like this. Check it out. Yeah, so all of these do get saved, and then I plan to repurpose these just because a lot of people, for instance, a lot of people like today, I announced it like within freaking 15 or 30 minutes or an hour before. So yeah, I'm not expecting anybody to hop on live. But the whole thing is to exactly do that, right? To clip it out and then post it like later on to Reels, TikToks, and then also like do a specific section for this video and you use it as a YouTube clip. But yeah, so I would like the algorithm in TikTok, it's crazy. So I saw this video of this kidnapping, and then after the kidnapping, another video came up and it was this girl dancing. But I didn't really think much of it. But it turns out, like in the comment section, once again, everybody was mentioning, oh, that's like La Nicolette. And what it turns out to be is that she was 16 years old when the corrido. So apparently they made a corrido of her. And it's called La Muchacha del Salado. So she was 16 when the corrido got... I think, when they paid tribute to her, and it was released for her 16th birthday in 2022. That song is what helped boost her fame in Mexico before the recent kidnapping incidents. So yeah, this is the video. I'm not going to be able to play the whole song itself for copyright reasons, but check it out. This is the video that I was like, what the heck? So it gets you thinking on exactly what she's about, right? Or what she was involved with. So here, I'll continue playing it without the song. Keep in mind that right here, she was 16. She's already having like red bottoms and all this stuff, and being like having a corrido made of her and being on stage. And I think someone said that she paid like $5,000 or $7,000 back then for this corrido. Not sure. This is just the speculations, right, that people were saying. But yeah, it really gets you thinking like, oh, man, who is this girl, right? And then, yeah, and then also I heard that, I think I was talking to Chelo. I think I was talking to Chelo also about this, and she mentioned that she, on her like social media, she would talk about that she would drive her Tesla truck to Sinaloa, from Phoenix all the way to Sinaloa, and that nobody would like stop her because she was already like everybody was kind of already looking out for her. Like she didn't have really anything to worry about, that she would travel back and forth. I think she has a small business over there, or a business, and that's the reason why she would be going back and forth from Sinaloa to Arizona. And yeah, so who knows what exactly who she's involved with or not, but yeah, it's that another reason why I caught my attention on why I wanted to talk about this in specific. And then the main reason, which you guys are going to know why I wanted to talk about this at the end, is the latest update is that she's still alive. There was a video posted that she is still alive. But the crazy part is that they used her to read a notice that they knew it would go viral. So once again, so the latest update is that she's still alive, but the crazy part is that they used her to read a notice that they knew it would go viral because of her disappearance. And yeah, so keep that in mind.
Para dejar un mensaje. Hola, estoy aquí leyendo este mensaje para dejar un mensaje muy en claro. Yo no estoy aquí por santa ni por casualidad. Yo estoy aquí.
So she's saying, I don't know if you're watching this and you're only an English speaker, but she's saying that she's there because she's not a saint.
Y porque yo trabajo con la empresa de Mallitos Flacos Mayosetas. Ellos me daban.
So she works with a specific group of people, and that they would give her money to give out to certain cops.
Dinero para pagarles a las patrullas estatales con esta numeración 028, 025, 509, 501 y 004.
So she's calling out the different, I guess, patrol cars that she would go and deliver money to.
También les ayudaba a recoger dinero de productos de venta y de tiendas que se les cobraba aquí en Culiacán. Ustedes saben muy bien que yo siempre les ayudé en mover tiros, armas y dinero.
Okay, so she's saying that she would help like deliver like arsenal. She would also deliver guns.
Siempre les ayudé. Ya me enseñaron una lista grande y larga de mujeres que han asesinado, golpeado, violaron.
So she's showing a lot of different women that they've disappeared and they've done all kinds of bad things to this woman.
Y quemado.
Or girls.
También quiero decirles que no tengan a la gente engañada como a mí me engañaron diciendo que la capital es de ustedes y que ya no había gente de los Chapos. No saben lo que he mirado aquí, ni siquiera en dónde me tienen. Lo que ustedes me contaron no tiene nada de verdad de lo que ustedes suben en los grupos de WhatsApp y en las redes sociales. Ustedes y ni todos sus aliados y las policías estatales juntos han podido ganar esta guerra.
So she's saying that nobody, like not even the police force or anybody, has been able to win this war.
Vean nomás dónde me tienen, lo que hicieron con su guerra y sus mentiras, en lo que llevó tanta matanza y secuestro de mujeres inocentes. Por favor, den con el paradero del menor de edad llamado Devani.
So right there, she's also talking about another missing person that they're saying that like please like help them find this person.
Gustavo Hernández Valdés, que secuestraron el 21 de julio del 2025 en la colonia 4 de marzo. Hola, estoy...
Yeah, so crazy that this happened. And to Betty's point, yeah, so I think you're right, Betty. I think she was selling hats, allegedly. Gave her that lifestyle. Yeah. You know what's crazy, dude? Like, they also talk about, there's a lot of hat brands, even some people that I've had here on the podcast, they say that, even one of the guys that I had here on the podcast, they said that out of selling hats, they valued his company over $450 million. I'm like, bro, come on, $450 million. I don't know. I guess you guys have to make the math and see how much they're actually selling out there. But yeah, and you're right, but like supposedly all of this like money that this girl La Nicolette was making was because of hats. Maybe I need to start a freaking hat brand. But yeah, let me see what else you said. I feel like they are using her to send out a bigger message. Yes, and that's exactly the point that I wanted to get into, right? Because now it got me really thinking about this, right? If they're ultimately just using her for her fame or for virality that they knew was going to take, now people like out in like different parts or groups of people are going to be using the same strategy. They could even use a famous person, whether they do harm to them or not, but they know that if this famous person is missing and they just use them to spread a message, now they know that this post is going to go viral and they can say whatever they want, or they can have this person say whatever they want. And it's just going to reach everyone in the world, right? Because if whoever's missing, all their eyes or all of people's eyes are going to be focused on them. They make a post that they're still alive. Now, yeah, it reaches everyone. So hopefully that's not the case, because it creates more insecurity out in Mexico, because now, similar case as her, they can use her now as an example and as a strategy for more and more, I don't want to say the word, right, but for more takeaways, right? So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to touch on that subject, because I'm like, oh no, hopefully they don't use that strategy more and more, because it worked. It truly worked for them. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's not. You always have to stay alert, man. Always stay alert, and especially somebody like her, that she's so young. I think right now she's currently 20 years old, and she was driving a purple freaking Cybertruck Tesla. Like, you're just catching so much attention on your own, and you don't want to do that at all. So yeah, that's pretty much the main reason why I wanted to touch on this subject. And yeah, to your point, Betty, yeah, I think that's the true reason why they used her. But now, so they're saying that she's still alive, but I haven't seen an update of her actually getting back into the U.S. and back to her parents and family. But yeah, that's the current update. If you guys do know of anything else that has come up in social media, let me know. I'm sure if you guys watch this after the replay, leave a comment down below and let me know. But yeah, I think that's one of the longest clips that I had for today, and then I'll get into two other reels and TikToks that I had that I wanted to talk about. And it's just, man, it's crazy. I think everything that all the different conspiracies that we've spoken to in the channel and everything that we share here in the group of people that like to dig into conspiracies, I feel like all the different conspiracies at one point just end up being true. And right now, this video, it's crazy. It's titled "It's Raining Dippin' Dots in Ohio." Check it out.
Current conditions in Ohio is Dippin' Dots. I'm gonna hang out a little while until they send down the chocolate. It's my fave. Peace out, homies.
So I don't know if you guys heard, but everywhere in like Texas, right here, it's in Ohio. Allegedly it's supposed to be super cold. I know in different places they even had to like start draining their pipes a little bit so the pipes don't burst. And what's crazy about this video is that look at the type of snow that she's picking up. Like, even in the comment section, people were saying that this looks like styrofoam. Let me see if I can pull up some of the comments. But yeah, this is insane. It looks nothing like snow, and she's just picking it up like nothing. So let me see if I can pull the comments here. So let me try to scroll. There we go. So it's saying that's called grapple snow. I've never heard of that before. So now look at this picture right here. It says it came from all of this. So once again, like, a lot of people like to say that a lot of this type of weather that we get, or this crazy weather we get, is because they end up spraying all these types of chemicals in the sky. And then what happens is the next couple of days you get this crazy ass weather. Now this person is saying it's called grapple. So maybe a different type of snow, but I've never seen this type of snow in my life. That's one of the main reasons why it caught my attention. Looks like a beanbag chair was opened up. Yeah, it looks like freaking styrofoam. Yeah, right here. Look, styrofoam snow is wild. So insane. I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe if you guys live somewhere in Ohio and if you guys had this type of snow in the past, but apparently this person that lives in Ohio has never seen this type of snow. And then to follow up this video, somebody recorded this. I'm not sure exactly where the location is at, but she was showcasing, or they were showcasing, that the snow is not sticking to the grass nor the trees. Check it out.
So I want you to notice the bullshit.
So I don't know if you can tell, right? When I first saw it, I'm like, what the heck are they talking about?
Why the grass not covered like the ground is?
Or the trees.
Because the earth is still too warm, naturally.
Look at that. There's snow all over, but there's no sticking to the trees. There's no snow sticking to the trees or the grass. And to what they said is because the earth is still too warm. It's not supposed to be snowing at this time of the year.
Forcing this shit. It might get along a little bit. It's not covering like the ground is covering. What makes...
Look at that. All the freaking streets are full of snow, but not the trees, not the grass. And to their point, it's because the earth is still warm.
Making the grass so special because it's fucking real.
Normally, that's what get covered first.
It get dusted first. Look at it.
It's not even sticking to the trees like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at that. Y'all know how it looks, especially up in the north. Y'all know exactly.
Yeah, that's freaking wild.
Fake ass.
They're saying fake
Keep
ass.
being fool.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping or whatnot, but I've never seen either of these two types of videos or any reactions in the past of snow, like not sticking to the grass or the trees. And then also of the freaking snow looking like styrofoam. So for me, it was wild. Maybe somebody that lives over there somewhere remote, right? Like in Michigan or something like that. Maybe you guys are gonna be like, no, what the heck? You're freaking dumb. Like this happens all the time. Maybe, possibly, but I've never seen that. And 75,000 people that like this video apparently haven't looked at that or have seen that in the past. So freaking wild to me. I don't know what the heck's going on with the weather or what they're doing to the weather itself, but insane. And then the last video I have here that I wanted to talk about, in case you guys do have any diebacks for whoever's still left on the live, please do let me know. But this last video I had scheduled is 200 kidneys dropped off at a hospital.
Y'all.
So just check this out. 200 kidneys dropped off at a hospital. And apparently all these doctors and nurses were waiting for it, like almost as a miracle, as a nice gesture that somebody was able to donate so many kidneys.
At this point, I'm just convinced this world is just one big movie and somebody's watching. Because, baby, listen, so I just watched this newscaster. She said she presenting a beautiful story, and she go on to say that somebody threw 200 kidneys in a duffel bag in front of the hospital. The doctor come on and say they received a beautiful gift of 200 kidneys. And he was like, and they was fresh. They had to got them within the last 24 hours. Baby, it's a whole crime scene inside that duffel bag. Because, baby, look, we got 2 kidneys in our body. So that's 100 people. Where are these 100?
Yeah, and I'll get into the comment section right now. But I'll give you guys a preview right now. In the comment section, a lot of people were saying with everything going on right now with ICE, yeah, they wouldn't even doubt that it's some of those people that are currently being taken, right? But I'll dive into it. That's just allegedly for entertainment purposes, but let's go on with this video.
Dead bodies at? Where are these people at? How is this story amazing when it's 100 people out there gotta be missing without no kidneys? Where is the beauty in that? And they talking about this is an amazing, beautiful story. How? That y'all just got 200 anonymous kidneys dropped off at a hospital door that y'all claim were fresh. Where is the rest of the body? And then the doctor go on to say, mention something about the brains, the lungs, and the heart. I guess he's trying to say they need that too, so drop it off at the door. Man, what? We in a movie, y'all. We are in a movie.
Okay, let me get into the comments right now and see what the comment section is stating, and then I'm actually Google it to make sure. I think I've heard this story before, but I'll Google it right now just to make sure that this is indeed factual, what this happened, or this news report, which I think I remember hearing it, but I just want to make sure that we have a little bit more background than it. So let me see what the comment section is stating, right? It's So yeah, right here. So I can't. Let me see if I can pull it down a little bit. There we go. So am I the only one suspecting of ICE? This kidney belongs to our brown sisters and brothers. Who knows, right? Investigate. So everybody's kind of speculating the same thing, right? For once again, this is not a factual. This is just reading off the comment section. 200 kidneys from where? And people still don't believe humans are being blank. How did they keep 200 kidneys fresh and in duffel bags? Yeah. So okay, now let me go ahead and try to see if I can find a news source, or let me ask ChatGPT. As a matter of fact, see if I can find any additional input, just to make sure that I have some validity over this. Let me ask ChatGPT. Was there a news report? 200 kidneys, fresh, 200 fresh kidneys donated. Okay, so it's saying no, there isn't a credible recent news report. 200 fresh kidneys being donated and delivered to a hospital in the literal way social media posts or videos claim. Okay, so allegedly this, so that might not be completely factual. What turned up in credible news, there was a widely circulated story from years ago, but an anonymous philanthropist supposedly donated 200 human kidneys to a hospital, but it's actually a satirical hoax. So apparently this is a hoax on a parody news site. Okay, so Snopes debunked the claim it's not real. So social media content, so some viral clips and posts on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit show or talk about 200 kidneys dropped off at a hospital out of context. What real organ donation news actually shows, legitimate news reports sometimes mention figures like a region reaching 200 organ donations, combined organs in a year as a milestone. So, okay, so 200 in a year. Okay. What the myth still persists, organ donation is a complex medical and ethical process, and real organ distribution, especially kidneys, happen one at a time through regulated systems. Bottom line, no reputable news outlet has reported that 200 fresh kidneys were donated in one event and delivered to a hospital. Stories you've seen are either satire or social media misinformation. Well, there you go. Apparently, that video within itself, at least through ChatGPT, is coming out to be a hoax. But who knows what to believe, right? But that caught my attention, and apparently everyone in the comment section already had somebody to blame for, right? I did receive right before I did a live, I think, what's his name? I was trying to look for it, but they were mentioning to talk about Alex Pedia. I forgot his name. I think it's with the latest incident that just happened. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was Alex Petty. I think it was the same person. Oh, man, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. It was Alex. I think it was the latest incident that happened with ICE. I could have sworn somebody messaged me, but I don't really know the full story. I know where. Sorry. Alex Preddy. I think that's the latest incident that happened in. I forgot where it happened. There we go. I just found it. So Alex Jeffrey Preddy, Justice for Alex Preddy, ICU nurse from Minneapolis, kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for the patients he served at a Veterans Affairs facility. Forever Alex. So I don't know the full story. about this. I think I saw clips. So let me see if I can play one of the videos that they're talking about here, or at least to get more information on him.
And we have just learned the identity of the 37-year-old man.
Sorry.
And
messed it up again.
And we have just learned the identity.
This has got to
Oh
stop.
man, sorry, keep on messing this up. Sorry. There we go.
7-year-old man who was killed in Minneapolis today. According to sources familiar with the investigation, his name is Alex Jeffrey Preddy. The Minnesota Star-Tribune reporting that he lived on Garfield Avenue in South Minneapolis. This was about a mile and a half southwest of where he was killed. Before he was identified, the Minneapolis police chief said at a press conference earlier today that Preddy's criminal record only showed some parking tickets. The chief adding Preddy was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry a firearm in public. His parents say he was an ICU nurse. The Minnesota Star-Tribune reports that Preddy attended the University of Minnesota. His LinkedIn page stating he was a junior scientist at the University of Minnesota Medical School starting in 2012. And state records show Preddy was issued a license in 2021 to be a registered nurse, and it remained active through March 2026. And
then also, so I kind of did hear a little bit more into this, and people were saying that at this point, it's not even about like what side you're on, right? Now it's just they're literally violating all your rights as a human being, no matter what side you're on, right? Whether you're left or right or whatever your beliefs are, whatever skin color you are, like they're violating your rights as a human being. Everything that was fought for many years ago, for you to have the rights to carry an arm, to protect yourself. All these different agencies that are supposed to be there to protect and serve are no longer doing that, and they're doing the total opposite. Let me see if I can find a video on exactly what happened, because I'm not too familiar with this case. Let me see. Victims seem to have. Let me see. I'm not sure if it's this one. No.
This has got to stop. It's not that we have an issue with immigration, and it's not that we disagree that illegal immigrants should be deported with due process, but that is a surgical operation that needs to be done with a scalpel. But yet again, our boss has sent in with a bedazzled chainsaw to do the job. ICE is a federal
I'm not
agency.
sure exactly what they're talking about here.
I fully recognize that. However, they lost trust.
Oh, okay. I think they're showcasing here the actual video evidence. So I'm not sure if this is Alex right here. Oh shoot, so they're freaking beating all these men. I would want to see a video of what happened first though.
Do you think the bang of Alex Preddy by ICE agents in Minnesota was justified or not? Love beyond color.
Oh, I think what they were showing in this video, which I kind of heard, right, it's that he had his handgun in his back, and apparently what this video was showcasing is that they took it away from him when he was down. But man, this is so sad, man. Once again, like I'm a strong believer that whenever they're showing you something in the news, like on this side, hey, look at here, they're putting all the spotlight and they're creating all this chaos. On the other side, they're also working on something else that they want us to be distracted away from, right? And then aside from that is like being the whole thing with the current president is that a lot of people forgot about like, hey, what's up with the files? What's up with the files right now? Since all the spotlight is on this, they're forgetting about all the different crimes, you know, that happened with this person. But it's very unfortunate there. I feel like they're creating all this chaos for something very bad to happen more than what's currently happening right now. And it's very unfortunate. Who knows what the end result is going to be, but they're doing it themselves. I think they got orders to do all of this, and they're allowing them to do all of this, which is so unfortunate. And yeah, it's in the past I would want to say that like, hey, stop falling for the trap, but the thing is that the trap is no longer there. They're actually seeking our people and causing all of this. So now it's just, we have to protect ourselves one way or another. It's very, very sad. It's very unfortunate. I'll look more into this case. I didn't know exactly what happened with Alex. I think this is the video. Let me see if I can play it. If not, I'll eventually record something else speaking on it.
Things got buried.
Okay, so I think this is the video. So it says, Minneapolis shooting victims seem to have calm talk with agents right before shooting.
Things got buried. Yeah, unroll your windows. No, you're just right inside.
Oh man, why is it doing that?
Let's go around.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it didn't really show everything. I think this video was just showing that he was calm. He wasn't like really doing anything. His hands were up. So what led into that actually incident, who knows, right? But this right here shows him with his hands up and all these different officials all surrounding him. Yeah. Let me see if I can find one more video so I can show, because I'm not too familiar with this.
One day, when the glory...
I can't play this song. If not, I'll...
En este video se logra apreciar donde un oficial parece que le está quitando el arma. No se alcanza a distinguir con perfección, pero parece que lo tiene en la parte de atrás. Ahora, lo que tenemos que tomar en cuenta es de que él estaba cargando un arma de forma legal. Si los oficiales te tumban, te amontonan y simplemente ven un arma, no quiere decir que estás haciendo nada ilegal o que tienen la autoridad de dispararte simplemente porque tengas un arma. Ahora, en otro ángulo,
exactly. So you're just exercising your right to carry.
parece que tiene algo en la mano, pero no sabemos si es el mismo teléfono o qué otra cosa. Y aquí es donde las preguntas son muy importantes y no es de llegar a conclusiones, pero es el mismo agente que parece que le está quitando algo. Después, en otro ángulo de la cámara, parece que tiene una pistola en mano que es muy parecida a la que después demostraron las autoridades como la que traía Alex Petty en su persona. Entonces, si una persona está legalmente armada, está siendo detenida y los oficiales le están quitando el arma simplemente porque existe un arma ahí, no quiere decir que es una amenaza o que esa arma esté siendo usada contra los oficiales. Al contrario, al parecer los que estaban armados poniendo en peligro a la población eran estos oficiales que muchas veces están fuera de control, empujando a todo mundo porque se les antoja o simplemente porque están irritados de que no lo están dejando hacer su trabajo por completo. Pero bueno, ¿qué opinas? Te leo en los comentarios.
Yeah, the only thing with all of this is that, man, if you're nowadays, even if you have the permit and the right to carry, you're just putting yourself at risk. It's so very unfortunate that now you can't even exercise that right without being exposed to like even risking your own life, like just happened with this individual right now. And it's very sad. I feel like with time and time again, it's going slowly they've been taking away our rights. Unless we fight for them again, but it's going to take everybody to get together and actually make a stand. Like the movie, I think it's The Ants or something, that if all the ants were to get together, we would outnumber all of them, right? And yeah, I'm not sure if you guys get this reference, but it was a reference of the movie. I think it's Ants. Government. Let's see. But yeah, I guess you guys can look it up. But let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
Yep. All right. Well, with that being said, I think I just wanted to get back into the groove of doing lives. I messed up a couple of times. It is what it is. Another one in the bucket, like they say, and we'll do another live stream next Sunday. If you guys want to hop in on a live or have topics, I'll make sure that I prepare more for next live. I can always bring somebody in through a phone call, through video call and all that. So if you guys ever want to join in, if you guys are watching this through the replay, once again, my name is Angel Houseman, and this is Nomas Podcast Live. Thank you, Betty, and thank you, Betty, and thank you for anybody else that showed up that didn't leave a comment. Regardless, I appreciate you guys. Thank you once again for taking the time. Till next time.